Well, Eric, let's dive into your tip of the week. What you got for us?
So, Rich, this week's tip of the week is all about having the MSPs out there that really want to go that next level of distinction and differentiation between themselves and their competitors in the area of really being recognized and building and strengthening their brand as that of a thought leader in their space. And, one of the best ways that I've experienced earning that kind of recognition has been speaking at live events, speaking on podcasts and speaking on webinars and to user groups and things like that. User groups, that's kind of where I cut my teeth at what all this community was all about, 15, 17 years ago when I started really exploring this great channel that we call MSP. So, we at Channel Mastered, we look for opportunities, Rich, as you well know, to speak at large conferences and events. And the best ways that we have found to do that, and maybe even have some of our costs covered for travel and, access to the event itself and passes and things like that, is to write a really timely and exciting session title and abstract, right? So what is it that you as an MSP are really, really good at? What is the one thing that you can say with confidence that, I'll go up against anybody in this one thing? If you have that kind of expertise, other MSPs want to know how to do that thing. So my recommendation is be that thought leader, be that influencer, get a nice session title, a nice abstract, and look for events that are putting out, they call it the call for speakers, right? So there's lots of industry events. And even if they don't have a page or something on their site, figure out who's in charge of the event, who's in charge of that, activity, and reach out to them through email and just offer that session abstract and, get out there and start doing it. Get on podcasts, talk about the topic, be a guest on vendors' webinars or community webinars and speak on that topic and really build that up. And once you've got that down cold, time to start the next topic and abstract. What's the next thing that you want to bring to bear? Because you can only ride that one topic and session value for so long, Rich, before, okay, we've already had, Erick speak on that. What else you got? So this is a way for you to stay sharp, to improve your communication and presentation skills, to know what works and what doesn't during a presentation, how many slides are too many slides, right? What to put on each slide, and to engage and promote yourself as that industry expert and begin calling yourself that in your title, in your abstracts. This is the way that you get other folks to recognize you. And like I said, Rich, create that distinction and differentiation between yourself, all of your other competitors that aren't doing this. And this is what you can take to new prospect conversations, have it in your marketing materials, right? And just be much more visible. And people want to collaborate with folks that are experts in their field.
Yeah, a few thoughts on that. And so first of all, I'll point out there are probably a lot of people in the audience here who are doing speaking, but they're doing it at, through lead generation activities. So maybe they're doing webinars as a way to get clients or sales prospects. Maybe they're doing lunch and learns. So they do some speaking. Those venues actually are a great opportunity to test and hone the kind of content that you're talking about, to really kind of get your hero session nailed. Come up with a topic that clearly resonates with people. Figure out, as you said, how many slides is too many, how many is not enough. Really kind of perfect that content before you start going out to events that are organized and run by other people, so that you're really ready to knock it out of the park when you get to those events. And I would encourage people, I think a lot of MSPs, and this is a really smart thing to do, but a lot of them are focusing in to some degree on one or more specific vertical industries. And so let's say it's healthcare in your case, or let's say dentistry. Go out, research what are the events that dentists are going to, and then get in touch with the people who are organizing that event. See if they have a call for speakers out, and if they don't, reach out to the conference organizers anyway. I know an MSP, Mike Ida, who you may have met, Eric, who did a lot of work with veterinarians. And I won't get into the details, but I mean, he last I spoke to him, he's been a regular at one of the year's biggest events for veterinarians. And that kind of began with him offering to speak at this show. And there was nobody talking about IT at this conference. They were grateful to have somebody come in and educate the audience. And it was this great opportunity for him. So I think it's a great idea. You can position yourself as a thought leader. You can put yourself out there in front of the world for lead generation purposes if you get a little more serious about speaking at a wider range of events.
Well said, Rich.